Last Tuesday, a woman told her doctor she'd been sleeping 9 hours a night for months. She was still so tired she could barely drive. What her blood work revealed changed everything she thought she knew about rest. Her name was Sarah, 34 years old, no major health issues. She exercised, ate reasonably well, and never missed a night of sleep. But every single morning, she felt like she was wading through mud. Her doctor ran the usual tests: thyroid, iron, vitamin D, all normal. It wasn't until a sleep specialist looked at her actual sleep architecture that the truth came out. And what they found applies to millions of people who have no idea why they're always tired. This is the story of what really happens inside your body when sleep stops working, even though you're doing it every night. Sarah did everything the internet told her to do. She went to bed at the same time every night. She kept her room dark and cool. She even bought one of those expensive mattresses. On paper, her sleep hygiene was flawless. Her fitness tracker said she was getting 8 to 9 hours consistently. But here's the thing about sleep trackers. They measure movement and heart rate. They don't measure what's actually happening in your brain. They can't tell you whether you're reaching the deep stages of sleep that your body desperately needs to repair itself. And that distinction? That's where Sarah's mystery begins to unravel. When Sarah finally did an overnight sleep study, the results were eye-opening. She was falling asleep quickly and staying asleep all night. But her brain was barely spending any time in stage 3, deep sleep. Instead, she was cycling through light sleep over and over again. Think about what that means. What if your body ran its repair cycle every night, but kept getting interrupted before it could finish? It's like restarting a software update at 90% over and over. The download completes, but the installation never finishes. Her sleep specialist identified the first culprit almost immediately. Sarah was a mouth breather, not dramatically, just enough that her airway narrowed while she slept, causing micro-arousals she never remembered. Dozens of them. Every single night. Sarah's specialist also tested her evening cortisol levels. And here's where the story takes a turn that affects way more people than just Sarah. Her cortisol was elevated at night, not dangerously high, just persistently above where it should be at bedtime. Now here's an example of how your body's stress response doesn't necessarily act in your best interest. Cortisol is designed to keep you alert and responsive to threats. It's life-saving in the right context. But when it stays elevated at night, from work stress, late-night scrolling, or even exercising too close to bedtime, it actively prevents your brain from descending into deep sleep. Sarah's evening routine included checking work Slack messages right before bed. "Just a quick glance," she said. But that quick glance was enough to keep her nervous system on low alert for hours. Her body was in bed. Her brain was still at the office. But the real breakthrough came when Sarah's nutritionist looked at her continuous glucose monitor data. And by the way, this connection between blood sugar and sleep quality is something most doctors still don't routinely check, which is a whole problem on its own. Every night around 2 to 3 a.m., Sarah's blood sugar was crashing. She'd eat pasta or rice for dinner. Her blood sugar would spike before bed. Then insulin would overcorrect and send it plummeting in the middle of the night. When blood sugar drops too low, your adrenal glands release adrenaline as an emergency response. That adrenaline surge rips you out of whatever sleep stage you're in. Sarah sometimes woke up at 3 a.m. with her heart racing. But most nights, she slept right through it without ever knowing her body had just gone through a hormonal emergency. It could be helpful to think about your own dinner. What did you eat last night? How close to bedtime was it? Because this blood sugar crash pattern affects far more people than you'd guess. And it's happening completely in the dark. And you might be thinking, okay, That's a lot of factors already, which is fair, but we're almost at the full picture. Sarah's blood work showed one more thing. Her inflammatory markers were elevated. C-reactive protein, interleukin-6, not high enough to flag a disease, but high enough to matter. When your body is dealing with chronic low-grade inflammation, it produces signaling molecules that directly disrupt sleep architecture. They reduce time in deep sleep and REM, while increasing time in light sleep stages. Your immune system stays on patrol all night instead of standing down. On top of that, Sarah's circadian rhythm had drifted. She worked from home and rarely got morning sunlight. Her melatonin production was starting too late, which meant her deepest sleep cycles were being cut off by her alarm every morning. So here was the full picture. Airway restriction, elevated cortisol, blood sugar crashes, chronic inflammation, and a drifting circadian clock. 5 separate factors, all converging on one outcome: deep sleep deprivation that no amount of hours in bed could fix. So what did Sarah do? She started with the easiest fixes first. Morning sunlight within 30 minutes of waking, just 10 minutes outside. That alone started pulling her circadian rhythm back into alignment within a week. She moved her last meal to at least 3 hours before bed and cut refined carbs at dinner. The 3 a.m. wake-ups stopped within days. She used mouth tape at night. Yes, it sounds strange, but it kept her breathing through her nose and reduced her micro-arousals dramatically. She created a hard cutoff for work communication at 8 p.m. No Slack, no email. Her evening cortisol started dropping within 2 weeks. And for the inflammation, she worked with her doctor to identify food sensitivities and added anti-inflammatory foods to her diet. That one took longer. About 6 weeks before, she noticed a real change. But when it came, she said it felt like waking up in a different body. Sarah's story isn't unique. Millions of people are sleeping enough hours but starving their bodies of real rest. The problem is almost never about time in bed. It's about what's happening, or not happening, beneath the surface. Deep sleep isn't optional. It's when your body heals, your brain consolidates memories, and your immune system resets. If something is stealing that from you, whether it's cortisol, blood sugar, inflammation, or a drifting circadian clock, more sleep won't fix